This is where the fun begins.
Hello there. How's it going?
Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here, and today I'm bringing you a review of the Star Wars The Black Series B1 Battle Droid. This is number 83 in the red and black packaging, so it's a little bit of a throwback. This is something I picked up at AwesomeCon, and I realized I never reviewed the tan Battle Droid on the channel, and it's a really cool figure and a great army builder, so I think it's worthy of getting a video here. I recently put up a community post just asking, what do you guys think about some throwback stuff? I don't get old things that often, but if you think that I should go back and hit some of the more important, like army builders and stuff, fire off in the comments below. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this review. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. This is your standard red and black box fare with a big black front with a window into the red background. You have a Black Series logo above the window. A picture of the Battle Droid, actually really cool artwork. I'm guessing that was Gregory Titus. He did most of the red box art. Super cool stuff. It says Battle Droid and then Droid et le Combat and then Age Dad I Died 4+. Warning Hasbro, and then that Battle Droid hanging out in there. Super cool with some accessories. Looking at this side of the box, it features your wraparound window a little bit. It says Battle Droid again, and then Battle Droid in big, like, dark gray letters. Over here, he's number 83 in the red box lineup. Battle Droid, and then it's just red otherwise. You have your Black Series logo, 83 again, a zoom-in of the Battle Droid, and then a bio about the Battle Droids in varying languages. Pause and read which language best applies to you. Bunch of legal stuff in varying languages. Disney and Hasbro logos. Bottom has a barcode, more legal stuff. Up top just has a hanger tab. I gotta say, Galaxy packaging, you know, hey, it's neat, it's cool. I miss these days. This was just really cool packaging. It definitely overstayed its welcome, but I'm very sentimental. This is Black Series to me. Let's get into it. Alright, so here's our Tan B1 out of the packaging, and as always, let's start by taking a look at the accessories. So he comes with the Battle Droid Blaster. It's not E11, is it? Maybe. I don't know my Star Wars guns, all of them at least. But this one is really cool. It's cast in a dark gray plastic and has some silver dry brushing over it. Just gives it a little bit of a used appearance. Really liking the look of it. I think it recreates what's seen in the movies very, very well. To show it in his hands, it has a very, very thick grip to where most characters couldn't hold it, but of course the Battle Droid hands are sculpted to hold it perfectly, and that looks very good in the hand. The Battle Droid backpack also features a hole on the side that the blaster plugs into for back-mounted storage, which I'll put that on the droid. And that looks really good back there as well. So I always love to see that. Doesn't happen very often with the blasters. Speaking of, the Battle Droid comes with two back options. He comes with his backpack, which he's wearing in the packaging. Looks really cool, and it's in that same tan that he's in, although on the outside, like, exposed back surface, it does feature some silver weathering and brown splotches. It has these two antenna nubs, which actually pull out. So you can pull out his antennas, and then you can plug it into the back like so. Now, they've kind of said the function and the variation between these, but they don't seem to really live by it in the movies. So he comes with this swappable back antenna piece, right? And you can either have him wearing the backpack, or you can have him wearing just the antenna. Now, in the Phantom Menace, they wear the backpack with the antenna, and when the droid, ship up in space gets destroyed, they lose signal. The droids are all remote control. But then, like, they try to imply in the Clone Wars later on that the backpacks mean that they're independent thinkers, so losing the capital ship doesn't mean the droids shut down. But, like, throughout, they pretty much all wear the backpacks no matter what. And the one difference that I've noted is it seems like the commanders don't always have the backpacks, and, like, they have the antenna. Ultimately, there's no true definite answer, but basically, I always have my Battle Droids just wearing their backpacks. I think that's the move. The only one that I have just the antenna on is this custom that I've just recently gotten from Commander Cook, being the Droid Commander. Thank you, Commander Cook, for doing that for me. And Hasbro, what the hell? Why haven't you done that for me yet? Literally, it's 2 paint editions on a pre-existing figure. So yeah, that that's something that I'm actually shocked Hasbro hasn't done yet. But yeah, so anyway, on my commanders, they won't have their backpacks. They'll be getting signals straight from leadership. And yeah, as you just saw, the battle droid tipped over backwards. That is a pretty recurring thing with these guys. They are very, very skinny, which is accurate to every appearance. They are very skeletal, and even though their feet aren't that tiny, it's just by nature of being small, it is very easy to be top heavy, especially once you get that backpack on there. I'm going to show you a little life hack I found. I know that there is no true science of Black Series stands, but I found these listings on eBay. I'm not going to link them in the description. These eBay listings change so frequently that I know I'm just going to get inundated with messages of, the link doesn't work, where do I buy them now? Go on eBay, type in Black Series stand, and they're all from China, but eventually you'll find these stands have 3 pegs, and these pegs are all slightly different sizes, right? They have them in this kind of like a hazy clear, or they just have them in black, and they sell them in like 8, 16, 32, 64, right? Like big numbers. And the nice thing about these stands is you can put 2 battle droids on them. You can get them to where if you just, get them just kind of like, if you're trying to line them up on your shelf, one stand can do like 2 battle droids, and you can really line up a big row. So anyway, the battle droids definitely need some sort of a stand if you're going to be using them going forward. And unfortunately, Hasbro has not chosen to include those. But looking at the battle droid, this review will be a lot more pleasant with that. All of the essential details are there. I mean, they're a very bland design. They're just tan, but the black of the eyes are punched in very nice. There's some very subtle weathering all over. It's a little splattery, but it's all right. Little brown scuffs and then silver scrapes. And the silver is very metallic. It catches the light very nicely, especially down around the joints, places that would make sense for wear. There's also the pistons on the biceps and in the abdomen there. Just a lot of really well done paint applications. The sculpt work is done really nice. And like I said around the backpack earlier, it just looks really, really good. Something worth noting on these, if you're ever buying them pre-owned, is just to keep an eye out for, is the ears in the back. They're hinged, and they can pop off. I've seen a lot of like eBay and Mercari listings where people are selling them, and they don't always note that the ears aren't there. So look in the photos if you're buying those pre-owned. It would bug me if I didn't have them. But just a very, very well done sculpt. I mean, I look at this and there's nothing I can say is incorrect about it. This is a definitive battle droid. And as I mentioned, or maybe I was going to mention, they label this as a Phantom Menace figure, or they had when they were like marketing it. This is just prequels across the board. Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith. I guess they were pink in Geonosis, so no Attack of the Clones here. But they just look really, really good. I'm super satisfied with the sculpt and the appearance here. It is definitely one of the best army builders. And whether you like that they're, a little fiddly and tipsy or not, they do exactly what I want. I'm really coming around on the battle droids these days. But let's go ahead and run through some articulation. I'll take him off the stand for this segment. This guy has some really good, like, extreme articulation. Thing is you see a spindly guy like this, and you'd think it'd be like an unarticulated, like, piece of crap like IG-88, but it's actually really well done. So he features a ball joint at the top of the head, which allows the head to get a bunch of tilt, and it can raise, that high up and, go basically all the way down. I mean, it does everything you'd want. And then it features a hinge at the bottom of the neck, and it's very stiff, but you can, get him to go forward, get him to go back. There's also like a long peg that comes out. I've never really understood this function. I think that doesn't really do much for you, but it's there, so use it if you care to. As I mentioned, the ears in the back are hinged. It features a pin 360 in at the bicep, or at the shoulder. His arms can only come out that far, which is a little hindered, but that's okay. He has an upper bicep rotation, single jointed elbows. They can go past 90, and then there's no swivel at the elbow, but that bicep swivel gives you that twist that you might want there. It features a swivel
at the forearm at the elbow, and then a hinge that goes in and out at the wrist, and then also rotates at the wrist. So that forearm, honestly, can like do like 360s. And so that's, it's kind of like an over-articulated piece there, to be honest. But it's nice that it's there. He features a ball joint up in the waist, and then these like hydraulic things feature swivels and peg in there. So it's kind of fascinating. You can get a pretty good twist there without anything really coming unpegged. It just kind of, they just kind of rest in there. So you can get a pretty good twist. Not a whole ton of crunch, but like, battle droids aren't really like hyper flexible characters anyway. And so, I mean, the fact that you get that much is really cool. The legs can go, all the way up at the hip, all the way back at the hip. It's on a ball joint, so there's like a little bit of twist, but not really a lot's happening there. Single jointed knees can go all the way back. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but the back of the thigh and the back of the calf, like they like nest together, which is really cool. And then the feet can point straight down, can go a decent chunk forward. And there's a forward-facing pin for rocker, but it's a little clicky, and I think that's not really helping it with standing. Something else worth noting here is that he can actually fold up for storage mode. So, like I said, those like thighs and calves can go together. So you fold them up like that, and you basically put the battle droid into like the fetal position. He sees Mace Windu coming. And you just kind of like fold his hands in front of his knees, and you lower his head down like so, and then you push in the antenna. This one's fresh. I haven't articulated him a whole ton yet. But you get him kind of folded up nice. You stick his blaster on storage, and you crouch him down. And you have to hinge the feet forward just a little bit because they're a little back heavy when folded up. But you have a... It's coming undone as I'm trying to fiddle the ankles. But yeah, he can go into sleep mode. Not really sure if you'd ever want to display him like that. But yeah, you can have your nap time battle droid. So yeah, all in all, I'm definitely satisfied here. Let's go ahead and bring in a couple of figures just for comparisons here. Bring in some other battle droids, of course. Here is that custom from Commander Cook, which is just the same red box battle droid that's been just added some yellow paint to. Here is the Geonosis look, which is kind of like that pinkish orange, red. Really happy with how that one turned out. Here is the Phase 2 Clone Trooper on the 2023 body. And it's actually kind of cool. They've pipelined, there's a 2-pack of these coming. It's like a Shop Disney exclusive. So that'll be a great way to army build the B1 battle droid, because it's been off shelves for a little bit. I'm finding these guys at Comic-Cons, but I'm not really having a great time finding them in stores anymore. So that'll be a good way to get that character back on the shelf. And then here is Jedi General Mace Windu, who, as of the Battle of Anaxis, has personally deconstructed over 100,000 of these B1 battle droids. And so I feel it was worthy to bring him in here. And so, yeah, all in all, obviously the droids are the same height. They're painted, or they're just repaints. They're a little taller than the clone. I feel that's accurate. And, of course, they're a little taller than Mace, who's kind of just an average height dude. So, all in all, I'm pretty happy with the scaling. He looks really good. So, end of the day, what do I think of the B1 battle droid? I love this figure. This is a really well done figure that recreates one of the coolest villains of the prequel era. I've always loved the battle droids. They're very imposing, very skeletal, and even though the Clone Wars made a little bit of a joke out of them, they're still a very scary threat, especially when you get them in numbers. I'm super happy to have this in the collection. I think that it is a definitive sculpt. I really don't think that Hasbro could really do much for it going forward. Some other repaints might be possible. Actually, there's a few repaints, like several repaints I could think of offhand I'd like. I'm going to do a video on that. And it's just a really, really well done figure. It's as good as it can possibly be done. Here's the thing. The battle droids were all CG in the prequels. There was never a physical droid prop used. I think they made a sculpture of one for like a, like some sort of like visual reference, but it was never used for filming. And the thing about it is that these guys, would not work in reality. They're too skinny, their feet are too small, they're too top heavy with that backpack. It's just the nature of the beast. They just don't work. So you're going to have those issues when you bring a figure, or when you bring a digital character into figure form. If a 6-foot version won't stand, odds are a 6-inch version won't stand. So yeah, some stands are definitely necessary additions for these guys. That could be Hasbro's big tweak going forward, is giving them stands, but they're never going to do that. But there's so many good third-party options like this one, and I'm just super happy. This is a great sculpt. I highly recommend it. So go track it down. All in all, I love it. Thanks for watching, everyone. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, you should leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that end of video stuff. I'm going to go work on something else now, so until next time, may the Force be with each and every one of you, and goodbye.